Hello, everyone. It is Sunday. It's about 10 p.m. I'm going to go over Module 4. Please bear with me. There's a technical glitch. I should have provided you feedback for your Milestone 1. I think you were able to submit it, but for some reason it is not appearing in my grade book. So I will take that in mind, as I grade both milestones 1 and 2. Okay, I did want to get that out of the way. I noticed, I went back and said something's missing, and so I am, waiting for Southern New Hampshire University's full-on IT department to open, and I'll be in touch with them early tomorrow. But as we wind up Module 3, many of you have posted excellent discussions. I'd like to look ahead now. Module 4 will begin, at midnight, just in a very short time. So what do we need to do for Module 4? Well, first of all, what we need to do is look at the learning objectives. Again, we talk about social structure, and I want to emphasize this because a lot of folks get it, but a few of you think that this is about individual action. Remember, any sustainability models are based on attention, that is attention, but a tension between social structure and human agency. In other words, it's great to say, we need to use less water and LED light bulbs. But what is that going to do if we still have large corporations and an economic and political system that favor, this mass consumption, right? It's not that we can't do anything as individuals. We have to know how to change collectively the structural constraints that really limit us. And that's going to be true, too, for education. So what do we have to do? Okay. So we've got a couple of things coming up, right? For this module, okay, we need to read Dream of a Nation, Chapter 5 is going to be, that starts on page, this starts on page 140 to 168, okay? And then read Horace Mann and Maria Montessori were great educators. And then, as a preliminary, to give you enough time, we'll be looking at this video for Module 6, okay? So those are our learning objectives for Module 4. Let's see what the assignments are going to look like for Module 4, okay? So, okay, here we go. Here's Module 4, okay? So, Module 4 has a discussion on sustainable education in terms of cost and equity. Please, let's move away from don't tell me that people can go join the PTA. Think about how schools are funded, how we can change that, how we can collectively move the structure of education, which is also problematic. You need to take a look at that too. Okay. Now, also, Module 4 has journal ideas for sustainable education. That's the second assignment. Okay. And so these two great, historical educational theorists, Horace Mann and Maria Montessori, watch these videos or read these articles and compare them. Okay? And they're historical documents. So what you're going to need to do is to really measure their ideas and see what from there I compare them, and then assess whether they be applicable today. Finally, in Module 4, and this goes beyond just the topic of education, read the film assignment document. Let's take a look at this. This is due in Module 6. So we're setting you up already, for a major assignment. It's going to be due in a couple of weeks. Okay? What this rubric is, right, and these set of instructions are... They're instructions that you need to read so that you can start to work on this, over the course. This is a multi-week assignment. So, you've got 3 films that you can choose from. We've watched An Inconvenient Truth. You can watch This Land Is Your Land, or you can watch the video tomorrow. Now, let's go back here. Or if you have an alternative film, clear it with me, please. Okay. So you need to watch this. Okay. All right. So that'll be for Module 4. Okay. I need to figure out where I can look at your Milestone 1, and I'm in the process of doing it now. So please keep this in mind. Also, I want to take a little bit of a moment and look at, give you kind of a refresher for those of you who might have discussed this topic in an intro class or social problems class about what education is. Okay, how it relates to other social structures. This book is organized very, it's kind of oblique, but it's very much organized in terms of social structures, which are large-scale ways of organizing resources. I want to look a little bit at education. Just briefly here. And opening up. 1, 2, 3. I'll probably edit out this part. No, it's opening up really great. In the wrong frame. So let me go share. Let me move the screen. Move this over. That's not good. Here we go. What are some of the problems that are associated with education? Okay. Let's go here. Let's see. So basically, you've got a couple of different issues. If we look at how education functions as a social institution, what we're going to see is, and this comes from one of 3 paradigms in sociology: structural functionalism, symbolic interactionism, and conflict theory. But really, ideally, if schools are functioning, then what we have are schools function to socialize us as functioning adults. They're places where we learn about cultural innovations, the use of technology. In social integration, schools are the first time that we encounter people who outside of our families. And there are other latent functions too. Basically, we learn how to, have basic skills: math, science, critical thinking skills, reading, language skills. But on the other hand, a social inequality perspective looks at structural functional explanations as limited. Schools perpetuate social inequality through social control, standardized testing, and tracking. Okay. What we see, one key point when you want to look at this. Okay, we have private schools, and of course there's a discrepancy there. But the key point here that you want to think about when you're thinking about structure, before you tell me that people need to go join the PTA, not feasible for many folks. Think about differences in funding between rich and poor communities and how schools are funded. If we have a sustainable education system, we will fundamentally, and this comes from a relationship with the political structure, have to politically go in and make decisions about how schools are funded and fund them differently than they are now. Okay, schools in more affluent areas offer better schooling than poor communities. Why? And it just doesn't have to do with home environment, or social capital of parents. But there is a fundamental issue in terms of the way schools are funded in the United States. It's a real problem. Schools in more affluent areas have higher property taxes. Property taxes, often by zip code, are the way schools are funded in virtually all of the United States of America. So with this in mind, I want you to, I need to go off here. Okay, I want you to keep all of this in mind as you move forward through Module 4. I hope this has been useful. I'll look forward to your reading your discussions, and I will be resolving this issue about what happened to Milestone 1 tomorrow. Okay, have a great week 4, and I look forward to meeting you in the discussions. Please email me. Some of you already have with some great thoughts for projects. Please email me and let me know what you're thinking about. Okay?